Welcome to Brown's Neighborhood, where Daniel Butchie Brown is the host. Welcome to Brown's Neighborhood. You know, I be fishing all the time. I had to go way out this time, and I brought him back in. It's Butch, you know, from the neighborhood.
Hey, man.
Lord done some things in his life. He also got a podcast, too. What's the name of your podcast, Butch?
We talk about it in the neighborhood.
We talk about it in the neighborhood. But we going to talk about some other stuff because he was doing some stuff before he got to talk about it in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's finna go down, so we finna talk about it.
Yes, sir. That's Butch. What we do.
Because I was talking to Butch, he was mentioning he lived over here, he lived over there, he lived over there. I mean, man, why you was moving so many times?
Man, we came from out of town, man. We moved up in them Jordan Downs, and then we moved up in them 80s. Then I went to Vegas.
Wait a minute, man. 80s where?
84th and Avalon.
So first you in the project.
I moved on 103rd and Grape Street, went to Jordan. I went to 102nd Street Elementary School.
So how long did you live over there first?
Let's say
in Watts.
13 years.
You lived in Watts 13
about
years?
13 years. And that was by way of Detroit. My mother brought us down here, and we moved to Watts on 103rd and Grape for about 13 years. I went to 102nd Street Elementary School. Then I went to Markham.
Boy, you had to be hold your own. You go grow up on 102nd Street and
103rd and Grape.
Yeah, 103rd and Grape. Then you went to Markham. That's some tough schools.
Man, that was. If you were looking back in them days, that was the gladiator school for me, Markham Junior High School, because at that particular time,
yes, sir,
you had the Jordan Downs and you had the Nickerson Gardens. Mm-hmm. They were both going to that school. Wow. So if you was from the Jordan Downs, then you had to do your thing up at that school, man, after school. After school at that particular time, man, it was really rough, man. Getting home, getting across them tracks, got to go all the way down Wilmington and go all the way back to 103rd and Grape Street from Markham High School.
Right.
And them dudes would be in the cut. The Dixon Gardens, they'd be in the cut. So at that particular time, I don't believe the banging was like it is now.
Right.
Because when I was living in the Jordan Downs, they had the pig meats and they had the Slauson V's. I don't know if any of the people listening on the podcast or whatever know about them pig meats. Yeah, the pig meats and them Slauson V's was over there. My brothers and them, rest in peace, was involved in that.
How many people in your family?
I had 7 boys and 3 girls.
What?
7 boys and 3 girls.
Man, your mother had to raise all of y'all?
And my mother had all of us. It wasn't no dad around. It was just mama. Mama had a pool hall down there on Wilmington.
Your mom had a pool hall?
My mother had a pool hall down there on Wilmington. So check this out,
man. Look here. A woman come from Detroit with these kids. Mm-hmm. No husband, no man in the house. And then when you coming from there, I'm just thinking, she traveling, and I'm going to be wondering to myself, who told her to move over here? You know what I'm saying?
I had an uncle named Sonny, an uncle named Butch, and an uncle named James. They were already down here.
Oh, they was already down here.
They was already down here.
They was already down
here. So
they
was like, Mom, sis, come on down here with us and bring them babies. Wow. And so they were a part of the pool hall. My mother ran the pool hall, but they were always in the cut, while she ran.
And what street was the pool hall?
This was down there on Wilmington and Grape Street right there.
Well, Wilmington and Grape
it was Grape. It was between Wilmington and Grape Street.
Is that right?
And my Uncle Sonny and Butch and James and them, they sat in the club all the time. They was in the club at all time. I just remember this as a kid.
Right. Yes, sir.
As a kid, I just noticed that they were always there. But my mother was always up. They called her Fast Black. She played pool real sharp.
Called your mother what?
My mother was Fast Black.
And why do you think they called her Fast Black?
Because she was sharp on the pool table. And if you got on the pool table with her, she didn't want to shoot a few dollars. She wanted to shoot everything in your pocket. So, and she would get on that pool table and say, "What you got? Put it all out." And, you know, she was Fast Black. She was one that would go check your pockets. So put that up there too, you know. And she was real good at the pool table. So that's why they called her Fast Black. You know, she did that pool table real good, man.
Man, you know, it's just amazing because she had 10 children and she raised
7 boys and 3 girls.
Raised 10 children. It's hard to raise one today, you know what I'm saying? Some ladies,
yes, sir.
They have one child, they like, I ain't finna raise no more. That's enough. Now, this lady, your mother, have 10.
10 of them.
And
Actually 11 because twin, my other sister Tina, had another twin, and one of the twins died. It was 11 of us.
okay.
But then she had stopped, closed the pool hall down, and opened up a, you remember when they started giving out cheese and butter?
Yeah.
My mother would open up a place called A&C Mothers with her, Maxine Waters, Miss Tillman, Johnny Tillman, and a few other ladies. And they started passing out that cheese and stuff because she started getting off into the politics after the Watts riot.
So your mother was a woman that was
She was
involved.
an kind of activist.
Yeah. I mean, she was out trying to make something happen.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We just got to take it today. And it may be a different way of doing it, but we got to be courageous like that, man. That was, you know, with that many kids, but still ain't letting it stop her.
Right.
See, the way you talking, she didn't let that stop her.
No, she didn't. She closed the pool hall down, started the A&C Mothers. That's the name of it was. It was called A&C Mothers. And they started out passing out that cheese and butter years ago.
Yeah.
That's what they would give. That cheese was the best cheese in the world. But, yeah, my mother started doing that. And
well, that's all you can get, but it would have to be the best tea.
And she started going to church, and she never stopped. My mother started going to Tree of Life Missionary Baptist Church on 92nd and Holmes in Watts.
Whoa.
Pastor Billy James Ray was the pastor.
92nd
That was
and
the
Holmes?
church that I went to as a kid. And my mother, when she started going to church, she never stopped. And she brought us in. We used to think church was school as much as she had us at church on Wednesday, Bible study, Thursday, choir practice, Tuesday night.
Trying to give y'all some direction.
Man,
You know, when you got that many kids, you got to give them some direction.
she kept us in church.
Wow.
And then the neighborhood kind of started to know my mother as that lady that go to church.
Okay.
That lady that when you go down to her house, she gonna have a hot meal ready for you and send you home. She not finna let you run around the streets like
Right,
that.
but when you left the house and you had to deal with the neighborhood, how did you survive in the neighborhood?
We moved over on 84th and Avalon over there, at them Bloods and stuff over there, man. And
Did you ever, first
my
of all,
brother,
did you ever get
my
in,
brother
hold
them
on.
never let me gang bang.
You never gang bang.
My brother them never let me gang bang. My brother would see me on the corner.
But I'm talking about at Markham, did they ever test you?
Oh, they tested me a lot.
So you just want to...
But I was pretty good with these things. Because we grew up, I got 7 brothers. We grew up fighting in the house all the time.
Right. So,
You know, my brothers and them, and I'm next to the baby. All my other brothers was bigger than me.
Right.
So they was putting hands on me all the time and having me crying and boo-hooing, but I, still try to fight back. So I was raised up in the boxing ring.
So look here. At Markham, did you ever have to get down?
All the time.
You did?
All the time after school. I told you we had to go to the track, cross the tracks.
It was like survival.
It was, man. Once class was over at Markham at that particular time, man, them dudes went this way and we went that way. And then, you're going to have that few that just want to do their thing after school, man. Walking past each other, bumping into each other at lunchtime, or I see you after school. And that's all it took.
That's it.
Back then, because we didn't have no guns and stuff then.
Right.
It was about put your dukes up, knock that, cross the line, and it was it. That was it. Wasn't no shoot 'em up, bang, bang.
So with all of that going down, about how many times you think you had to, put your squab up?
Well, I was always.
Or did you always get beat up?
Let me be honest with you. Only time I ever got beat up in my life is gang banged on, like 5 or 6 dudes. Other than that, man, I was a fighter. I was a fighter. Even in the pen, I'm fast forward. I did 13 years.
Hold on. But you moved so fast.
I did.
Man, thank God that your mother, she really had planted the seed. You know what I'm saying? And then as children, they go back out there and peer pressure and out there trying to survive. So what you're saying is when you were at Markham, you was winning most bouts.
Yeah, because I was a big dude. Didn't nobody really want to mess with me. So most of the fights would be like, to be honest, me picking on them. Me saying, I was the one. I was the bully. I'm going to mention his name, Clarence Magruder used to live in Watts. He's one of the biggest down there. If you was hanging with him, you had to be tough. You couldn't be no punk. The whole Magruder family, they was big like our family. You know how you have certain families that got a lot of people in it?
Yeah.
The Magruders was another big family, and then my family was a big family. So when we went to school together.
So just let me say this. So when you were at Markham, did they know Butch?
They knew me.
Or were you the one of the guys they didn't know?
They knew me. The people that knew me pretty much were people that I was in class with or either running around breaking in lockers with. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I was popping them lockers.
How you going to pop the locker,
man? You know people have stuff in the lockers up at them schools, man. I'm popping the lockers.
Looking for what, man?
Man, whatever up in there. What it might be. We young. It might be a jacket up in there. And then also going to take the chains, pop the chain, take the bikes. Because at that particular time, we was riding bikes, man. Everybody was, fixing their bikes up. We might not take the whole bike. We might take the one tire off the back after school and just roll with the tire and leave the rest of the bike. Oh, he got one of them good tires.
I'm going to take what I can get.
That's it. Let me get these handlebars. Screw that out. The rest of the bike be still right there. But that's...
Now he come out and some of the bike is missing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he don't know if to take half the bike home or leave it.
He ain't going to take the whole bike with him. Handlebars and the tires gone or something.
Wow, man.
Yeah. You might even take the brakes off. You can take the brakes off. Just unscrew them and the whole brake thing come off.
Man,
that's how we was, man.
Now, you were doing all of that.
Yes, sir.
I always ask a cat, because when you get to the 8th and 9th grade, these little girls start looking good.
Yes, sir.
Did you look at any of them?
Man, I had me a little girlfriend, and I got caught with her. And my mama say,
You got caught with her where?
At my mother's house.
What you doing bringing her to the house, man?
I was young, and I didn't know no better than I thought I could be creeper up in the house and do my thing. My mother came in there, and I'll never forget this, man. This is something that I'll never forget.
Okay.
My mother caught me with this woman having sex in her house.
You were doing it or you was about to?
Yes, I was doing it, and my mother walked in.
About how old were you? Butch, how old?
Man, at least 13, 14 years old, man.
And you knew what to do?
I knew what to do. My oldest brothers and them, they was like, my oldest brother was a pimp, and he used to sick the girls on us. Anyway, go over there, get it. My oldest brother, Michael.
Man.
My oldest brother, Michael, would sick them girls on us when we was young, and go over there and, and
mess with it.
That's it. But when my mother caught me, man, one thing that I'll never forget is she stopped. And at this particular time, she had closed the pool hall down.
Right.
And started going to church.
Right.
My mother immediately broke me and homegirl apart and started praying for me.
Wow.
She started praying for me. She said, Lord, bless him so that he can continue to grow up and be a preacher. And I immediately stopped. I said, Mama, don't say that. But through those years, man, I found out that I do kind of carry the message. Mm-hmm. I never claimed to be a prophet or a preacher or nothing like that. I consider myself, just like yourself, Brother Brown, just a messenger.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been a messenger.
Wow. Wow. So now you get out of, because this is a little bit of the story. Mm-hmm. You get out of Markham. Did you get to go to Jordan?
No, that's when we moved on 84th and Avalon.
So now you over in a different neighborhood.
A whole different neighborhood.
84th and Avalon.
Between San Pedro and Avalon, going to Fremont High School. No, I'm going to Drew then.
Yo, you went to Drew?
I went to Drew.
They gave you a test to Drew too?
I get into a fight at Drew. They kicked me out of Drew, sent me to Bret Hart.
Oh, my God.
I went to Bret.
Hold up, man. As soon as you get over to Drew,
I did.
You get tested. That fast?
Man, like 3 or 4 fights. They said, no, let's kick him out of here.
So wait a minute, man. In this time you was at Drew, who was starting these fights?
Well, from Drew, at that particular time, we lived on 84th and Avalon. From 84th and Avalon, you had to walk all the way up. You can walk all the way up 84th Street, all the way past Central, all the way down to what they call Firestone now.
Right.
So it's like 10 blocks. Before you get to Drew, you got to run into the gang that was there that was called the Kitchens.
Yeah.
Then you have to run into another gang down here that was Crips.
Right.
So I'm coming out of a blood neighborhood, and I got to go past the Kitchens, and then I got to go past, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So after school, they had a hole in the gate that you come out of. Once you came out of that hole, man, it was like you had to fight. So now, this is what's so cold about that hole, and I never understood it, and I never even thought about it until years later.
Right.
Why was the staff waiting by that hole instead of them closing that hole up?
Man, do you know there's a whole lot of questions we could ask today?
Man, they never would close that hole up. They would just stand right there and let us walk back and forth through it, because if you close that hole up, it would get cut right back open every day. Because that's where a lot of kids came in and out of school. And they had to walk up 84. So that's where I got into most of my trouble at coming through the hole, man.
And they kicked you on up out
They kicked me out of it and kicked me out of there and sent me to Bret Hart.
So now you at Bret Hart, it's gonna be rough over there too?
No, when I got over there, my brother owned an electrician shop on 92nd in Vermont.
Oh, he did?
He owned the electrician shop over there, and it was right down the street from the school. Mm-hmm. So I started going over to his house before I go to Bret Hart, because it was right up the street.
So you was getting to know some people.
Yeah, and plus he was teaching me electrician.
Okay.
You know, he had me pulling wires up under the house. You know, at that particular time, I didn't, you know, $100 bill was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so my brother would have me pulling wires on the roof, up to the rooftop, pulling wires under the house, putting boxes on the house and screwing them on or whatever. Right. He never really let me do no electrical cut-on stuff. but he would let me pull the wires and stuff like that. Right. So that kept me off the block too. Okay. It kept me out of the gang stuff and all that. Because my other brother, Michael, if he ever caught me on the corner, he would pull over in the car, jump out, beat me up in front of all my partners and say, "What you doing down here, selling pussy or something?" And I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Why you hanging on the corner?" Never did like me hanging on the corner. So this was one of the reasons why I got off into hustling more than the gang.
Can you remember at Bret Hart? You didn't do no hustling at Bret.
Man, when I was at Bret Hart, man, things just changed. Because like I said, my other brother was the electrician. He would always pick me up, take me to school. After school, I'd go to work with him, and he'd take me home.
So what changed once you went to Bret Hart?
When I went to Bret Hart, my mother started telling me, ain't nothing like your own. So my brother was giving me $100 every time I go over there and do an electrician job with him. Mm-hmm. So I started saving that money up. Wow. I started going, buy me a little, duds or whatever that other folks didn't have. I was glad to go to school now because I knew when I got out of school, I was going to go to work and I was going to make some money. Mm-hmm. But then after a while, man, I started hustling them streets.
And how old were you when you did that?
Man, I was 18, 17.
So when you left Bret Hart,
18,
look here, man.
I went to Fremont.
You went to Fremont. So now you still really in a Bloods neighborhood.
Exactly. But I'm on the football team.
Oh, you played on the team?
I'm on the football team. And so then
How did you get on the football team?
When I got down there, I had then went on. Well, let me back up a little bit. I got into some trouble. I went to Los Petrinos Juvenile Hall.
Wait a minute, man.
I did.
Listen,
because I was trying to start selling the weed bags.
Where at?
On San Pedro at 84th.
And how old were you?
Man, I don't know. It had to be 16, 17, 16.
So you was going to the mall.
I started selling them weed bags on San Pedro in 84th. I got caught up. I went to Los Petrinos Juvenile Hall from there.
Hold on. Who introduced you to selling it?
Man, rest in peace, man. My homeboy, Lil Eddie. I had a homeboy.
Lil Eddie?
I had a homeboy named Lil Eddie.
You know what block street he lived on?
He lived on 83rd between San Pedro.
Man, I know Lil Eddie.
Yeah, Lil Eddie used to, matter of fact.
How you meet him?
Bless that man heart. Lil Eddie gave me some weed, told me, man, you don't need to be out here selling weed. Wouldn't give me no more weed. Do you know what that man did? He sent me to Long Beach Trade Tech to school.
What trade
and
tech?
It was a Long Beach trade school, Okay. It was a trade school. And I took up dental technician, man. He made sure that I finished that whole class and didn't want me to sell no drugs or nothing, man.
I know it, but before that happened, man, who introduced you to selling weed?
Lil Eddie.
Oh, my God.
Lil Eddie.
Lil Eddie. Had you out there.
Eddie Jean, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Had me out there selling weed right there on San Pedro in Manchester. We all used to be out there running the cars and stuff.
Wow.
But then he found out that my mother was the Christian lady on the block, and he was like, oh, no, Miss Ella, your mama?
But hold on. You got caught.
Yes.
And went to jail.
Went to jail.
Man, I could imagine. But this was your first time?
That was my first time. I went from juvenile hall to YA.
Well, just for some weed?
Man, I got up to juvenile hall and started that fighting again, man.
Boy, wait a minute.
They sent me to YA.
Wait a minute, man.
They sent me to YA.
So you get to juvenile hall because you're selling weed.
Right.
This is what I want to know, man. How did you get caught?
Sitting up there in on 83rd, they had an apartment building.
Uh-huh.
The police came through the apartment building. I'm sitting right there, and I'm not even looking up, man. And they just ran up on me. I never forget it. I'm sitting there, and I'm looking this way. They come from the back of the apartments because I'm looking forward. And next thing you know, I turn around, they right there.
So this is my question.
I couldn't go.
How long were you selling weed before you got caught?
Man, I honestly can say about a year.
Is that right?
About a year. It was about a year.
So you was in full gear.
Telling you, man, I was in the cage with the weed and the rocks.
Wait a minute.
Man, if you know Lil Eddie, you know he had the apartment building right there on 83rd, the orange building, and it had it caged up. And on this side it was this, and on that side it was that.
Well, hold on. But all you said at first...
I wasn't selling the rocks, though.
Okay.
I was just selling the weed. Freeway Rick used to come down there and give the package to Eddie. Eddie wouldn't let me get over there. Remember, I told you, he stopped me.
He was trying to save you.
He said, man, you need to stop, man. You need to go to school because your mama, Miss Ella, because everybody knew my mama was the church lady on the block. When he found out that that was my mama,
right,
he did not want to have nothing to do with me going and getting involved in none of that. So when I went to jail, he felt bad. Even when I got out of jail, man, he was like, Butch, don't come over here. You ain't finna have Miss Ella coming down here. Because my mother, at that particular time, it took a village to raise the kids. Yes, you know, back then. You know, my mother was one of the mothers that would whoop another kid on the block. You know, because that's the way it was then. My mother gave the other mothers on the block permission to whoop me. And Eddie's mother...
Well, you was kind of big, man.
They
didn't want to try to whoop this big old youngster.
But you know, you're never big to your mama.
Right. No,
your mama don't care about none of that.
No, definitely.
And so I was, you know, big then, and I think I showed you some pictures of me was just yoked up and all that, and I just always was spinning the weights and physically fit back then. So I started boxing a little bit when I was went to YA. I was down in San Luis Obispo, Fresno, Paso Robles, and we was on the boxing team, and we was beating up them
man. How you gonna go to all these different little places? That they were traveling?
No, when I was in Paso Robles, that's when I went from Los Vitrinos to YA.
Right.
Paso Robles is a YA. They had a boxing team down there. Right. I got on the boxing team because that was the only way you can get out of the prison.
Oh, right.
Out of the YA to do stuff. So the boxing matches would be in Fresno, San Luis Obispo, just in the neighboring places.
You know what? Because I got another question, but I'm wondering, do they have that for the kids? We want to call them kids anyway. For young men today.
You know what? It's sad, but they don't.
See what I'm saying?
It's sad that they done took out everything out of all the... Man, when I first went to YA, man, they had welding. They had all kind of construction classes, all kind of trades that you can take when you get up into that prison now. Man, let me tell you something, man, and it's sad that they just housing people now.
Teaching them nothing.
They don't care if you go to school. They don't care if you get a visit. They don't care if you come up out of your cell. They don't care no more. They just want to house you now. So all the trades is gone in there.
So back then...
And the weights.
And the weights.
They didn't want no more physical fitness up in there because we was getting too big and elbowing them police and doing this, that, and the third to them and choking them up on the wall. And man, there was a lot of big dudes running around YA as well as the penitentiary back then, man. So that's when they took all the weights.
They had size on them.
Man, youngsters.
Gladiators.
Man, you know they used to call it the gladiator school. And they said no more weights.
And you in there fighting.
Oh, my God, pushing them to the wall.
Man.
I mean, it was just you had to, especially if you wasn't a gangbanger in there. You wasn't with me personally. Yeah. I wasn't with none of the politics. I did my own thing. Yeah.
So what made you? Look here. Let me just ask you. When you was in there, were you claiming any set?
You know what? To be honest with you, I had homeboys from A-Tray. I had Frog from A-Tray, still living right now. Shout out to you, Lavelle Crawford, one of my partners. We used to be big, two biggest dudes on the way power, lifting 100-pound dummies, me and him right there. So we kind of just was really not with the politics.
Right.
Really not trying to do that no more. Really in our feelings about getting up out of here and never coming back.
Right.
So we didn't care about none of the Bloods or the Crips. So they had this non-affiliated posse, this non-politics posse.
Trying
so
to
if
get
you,
out.
Yeah, so if you ran with those people, then you was pretty much all right. On the same token, I started a prayer circle. I started studying my Bible. Well, let me take that back. Let me be totally honest. I started reading my Bible.
But before that, let me just ask this question. When you was at Fremont, you did play a little ball.
I played a little ball, and then
What position did you play?
I played running back and defensive lineman.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Running them down, make me a hole, give me that 2 or that 4 holder.
Yeah. So you put on the uniform.
Yes, sir.
You had your helmet on.
For a little while.
Huh?
I ain't gonna lie until I started selling them joints on the outside. You know, we started selling joints. I got caught up again.
Right. You got to be quick with that, young blood. You know what I'm saying? Young man. I'm going to clip that. But you got to be on when he talking him. When I'm talking me, you can't get caught up in the conversation.
Yeah, he like, nigga, but you was what?
I'm watching you, you know what I'm saying? He loving the conversation, you know what I'm saying?
that was just one of those things, man.
Because you know what's happening, Butch? He thinking about, wow.
Butch was over there.
No, he was right in the same vicinity. No, I don't need you talking. He was right in the same vicinity where I was. You know what I'm saying?
And he was up there with Blue and them down there from East Coast.
See, the thing is, look here, you got to be quiet because you don't want to be seen. So, no, you don't get to ask no questions.
Right.
You don't get to talk. You don't get to do nothing.
Yes,
just
sir.
enjoy the conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
understand?
And know what
Yeah, stay with that. Stay with that. Hey, look here. Oh, he want to ask you a question.
He do.
Real
Yes, he
bad,
do. Yes, he do. Yes,
oh, man.
You know, Eddie. You know that was
You want to get one question in, bro? He want to get one question in.
He was over there with Freeway Rick on 83rd.
We gonna give him one question, and don't you ask him. You send the question in to me. You don't get the privilege, huh?
Take my group.
Oh my God, man! Them was my guys, man. Tank and Clarence Magruder from Watts, man. Like I said, man, those big families stuck together in the projects.
Right.
If you had 9 or 10 people in your family, you was like the family in the project.
Right.
Now you know the Magruders had the family down there. They had Kim and all, man. Even the sister would whoop you.
She can fight,
Man.
What's her name?
Kim.
Dr.
Magruder, shout out to you, old girl. Who fight you down to the ground. And then I had 7 brothers. And then I had an older sister named Sylvia, rest in peace, that would fight too. So they kind of ran together. Those were the days, man, when I was growing up, man, and really getting to know what type of life I didn't want to live.
And this is one of the things that's what I really love about the podcast, because we all have a life that we live.
Mm-hmm.
And this right now, just to express it, talk about it, and some people gonna be able to know, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, that Butch. Oh.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's bringing something back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got to understand now, even though we're going to talk about it now, you saved, sanctified.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So what his mother was praying for when he was a child has now came on back around to fruition. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
But we going to keep talking about the story.
Amen.
The story of Butch, and we can never get it all, and we ain't going to try to get it all. But we want to get it where we just like, wow, that's him.
That's me.
That's Butch, you know. You had a whole lot of fights, dude. You might have had more fights than Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
I did. I really did.
just in surviving.
Yeah.
Or they was trying to survive. Somebody was trying to survive.
Yeah, it was. That's how it was, you know. Like I said, because we didn't have the pistol game really cracking then.
Right.
You had to put your dukes up,
Right.
man. It wasn't, I'm finna go get a gun. You better not be here when I get back. Yeah. It'd be like, I better not see you again, you know.
Right.
Every time you see me, we're going to fight.
Right.
You know, it would be, no, I'm going to shoot you.
Right.
Man.
So Butch, you going down there, you fighting while you was down there, boxing in jail.
In jail, and Pastor Robles.
And that's why I was just saying...
Coach James, man, that was my coach's name.
At least back then, somebody cared, even when you was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Today,
that's right, Coach
no
James.
one cares.
He cared about me, too. Yeah. He cared about me when this white boy was whooping on me in one of the fights I had in Fresno. I get out the ring. He said, "Boy, Butch, he whooping your ass. You better get out." Because I'm used to winning. You know how you used to winning?
You used to winning.
And the white boy get in there and see the thing about them gloves when they hit your face. If they hit you right, it stings, and it makes your face hot. It makes
is that right?
Your face get hot. And I get out there and I'm getting ready to do my thing with the white boy. Man, he put like 10 to my face, like pop, 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 pop. I had to get back right again, you know, because I'm not used to nobody doing me like that.
Right.
And I go back and I sit down and Coach James said, "Butch, boy, he whooping your ass." I say, "Lord." Oh, so, you know, he cared about me. You know, he cared about us.
Yeah.
As a shout out to another brother named Ron Daniels. He lived in the Pueblos, man. Was another dude that really just kept my head on, man, as far as getting in that ring and not getting angry, but just straight boxing, you know. Don't get angry. Don't get mad, because you're going to get hit. You gonna get hit.
You gonna get angry.
You gonna get That's what that. Shout out to Brother James. But yeah, that was a journey, man, that kind of, you know, my mother came and saw me one time.
In jail?
She came and saw me one time, brother.
That's it.
Brother Brown, she came up to that one time. I was at Los Patrinos, and she said, "I won't be down here no more." She said, "I'm not doing this no more." And I remember her walking out crying. And I was like, wow. I thought at that particular time when I saw her walk away that would be my last intervention with anything that had to do with going to jail and all this.
How much time did you end up doing, Butch?
At that particular time, I did 18 months.
Right.
But I got out, and I told you in the 80s, 79, you know, Freeway Rick hit the block.
He hit the block.
He hit the block, and anybody that wanted to hustle, he'd let you hustle. If you didn't bring it back, he didn't care about that. You just wasn't hustling no more.
Yeah.
You know, he'd give you something, and if you didn't come back, he just wasn't giving you no more.
Yeah.
For those that know.
Well, that was really the smartest way.
Yeah, he didn't go chasing you down or none of that.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
He wasn't talking about, "Oh, man, go get that nigga." If you didn't come back, you just didn't get no more. Right. So when that thing hit, you know, I met a Jamaican woman and moved up to Vegas, man. And
you moved to Vegas?
I moved to Vegas and started hustling down there in Las Vegas and Henderson.
So who were you getting your stuff from?
That's when Lil Eddie
okay.
and Rick was doing their thing, you know.
Taking supply.
Rick was coming over there, dropping it off, and Eddie was like, you know, "Hey, man, if you go do it here." So that's what got it started. And then I went to Vegas, and then I met a Jamaican woman. I used to be married to this Jamaican woman.
Oh, yeah?
And her name was Lisa. She was Jamaican, and her people had a package. And so I didn't even have to deal with nobody from L.A. no more. I was up in Vegas. I got caught up down there, long story short. I got caught up in Henderson, Nevada. It got me with a trafficking from Henderson to
how much time you
Vegas.
did from that?
That's when I got the 7 to life.
Is that right?
Yep.
Just for the drugs.
That's when they was handing out that 3 strikes thing.
Right.
And so I was up under the habitual criminal thing. At this particular time, like I told you, I was reading the Bible at that particular time. I started reading it. I was reading it and just reading it. So I started a prayer circle in San Quentin. I did 4 years at Nevada State Prison. Then I left Nevada State Prison, did an out-of-state transfer to San Quentin, did 7, and then left and got out of there in 2000. In 2000, I got out, and I just said I wasn't going to participate in that street life no more. Not like that. And so God showed me prayer and meditation, how to make the same type of money selling clothes. The same way I had to sit up there and wait to sell a $50 rock and a $20 rock. It's the same way I do with what I do right now as far as my clothing business and my perfumes and colognes and cups. I sit there and I don't think about when I used to hustle. I just know that's the same business, just legit. On the same token, I don't read my Bible no more. I study it.
Right.
So in studying it, I get an understanding.
Well, the beautiful thing I want people to know, because a lot of times people, when somebody was out there and in the world, they just ready to just down them and, you know, they ain't no good. Sometimes we don't get to really choose what we really out there in life doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just what presents for a young man at that time. It was part of the neighborhood at that time.
Exactly.
And the kid he want to make money. You know what I'm saying? But in all of that, they still got to think God had a plan somewhere.
Yes, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
And his plan for us was to have this conversation right now. I believe to encourage you, and I just want to stop you right there and say, man, I'm really proud of you.
Wow, thank you.
I've been through a lot of recovery stuff, you know, because of my addictive behavior as well. But I've never been to a program where I saw the people giving back the way you gave back today. And I was just wanted to say that I'm grateful to be a part of that process of giving because I'm a giver too.
And that ain't it. We want it to happen again.
Amen.
Before Christmas, because you can't get all of them at one time, you know what I'm saying? So you get a section of them, and then let's come back next week, and then try to, you know, because like I say, some of them got their challenges, you know, as you seen today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so you got to work with it, you know. You got to work with it, but we still want to be a blessing to them. Because a lot of them don't get to go to a mall, swap meet, none of that. So for them to just come and look and find a shirt or a jacket.
And be excited.
You know what I'm saying?
They were excited.
Man, to run
And
them
I
off.
was excited too. I was like, who does this besides real folk?
Yeah.
Real folks.
Man.
And I watch you guys just grow, man, from the what was the dance hall to the smoke shop to this.
Yeah.
Man, our God is awesome, dude.
Man, we say awesome, man. We can't even imagine
No.
how good he is to us. I mean, he is good to us, man. I mean, and we just gotta learn to patronize each other.
That's right.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
reciprocity is what they call
you know, work with each other, and then even when we see each other doing good, don't stop. Keep blessing each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop going to Target. We don't stop going to Ross or any of that.
No, we
If
don't.
you see your brother out there trying to make it,
Bless him.
you never know how much that's going to help him to keep going.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But that's why I was like, man, hey, because I know you would be down there working. Come down here and let them enjoy doing that. It's a twofold blessing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? To let them just enjoy doing that.
And they get to see the outside because they caught up in this, you know, and they like you said, they don't get to see that.
No. Who gonna take them to the mall? You know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
Mr. Brown would, though.
Oh, yeah.
I know you would.
I can only take a couple of them at a time.
I know you would.
Because they going to get in there and they going to be trying
I know you would. I know y'all would take them down there and have security and
man, we would take them to Ross.
I know some brothers
and
that
all the
would, though.
Man, look here. You take too many at one time.
It's going to be trouble in the street.
It's like trying to keep some cattle corralled. And they not. They one want to go over there, one want to go over there. You know, man, I'm trying to tell you.
Man.
You know.
But it was truly a blessing, man, just to be a part of that.
So, Butch, what drew you back? After you got out, you said, hey, I have to learn to survive a different way.
I had 2 kids.
Okay.
I had 2 daughters. One that just, shout out to you, Dior. God bless you and thank you for keeping her. My oldest daughter just got accepted at Southern University in Louisiana. She just turned 18, graduated from Magnum over there at Markham, and they sent her down there with a scholarship, man.
Wow.
So I'm proud of that, you know, and that was one of the things that kept me out and kept me going. Kept me seeking the kingdom of God, kept me standing in that word, kept me praying, kept me thinking and wanting to get an understanding about the will of God, more so than just reading. That's why I say I stopped reading the Bible and I start studying it. Because a lot of times we get it, a lot of times I had it twisted. I thought that reading the Bible in the whole for 6 months mean that, oh, I know the Bible.
Well, see, if you don't study it, you're going to forget it.
And we know the stories, but it's a lot of in-between stuff in there
it is.
that God is starting to reveal to me, you know. So that kept me and my 2 daughters, man, to know that they love church like that. And I never wanted to get caught up with going back and forth to the prison with no babies, because when I used to be in there, and I would see them guys get them visits, and their babies would be all in the window. I said, man, if I ever had kids,
I don't want them to do that.
I would never let that happen.
Wow.
So that kept me. God kept me in the midst of that. He said, Butch, man, you know, you got these kids. Remember what you told me? So then, like I said, that's what made me, he started putting it on my head, because at first, when y'all first met y'all, I was married, still married, but not divorced. But I just used to sell perfumes and cologne. That's it.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
And I started right up there at Martin Luther King. I put on my suit,
on Martin
put
Luther
on my
King
tie.
there?
Martin Luther King Hospital.
Is that right?
I'd put on my suit and put on my tie and walk through there with a cart like I worked there. And I got familiar with all of the people that worked in the hospital, the doctors, and everybody that I knew that I was going to see all the time, the x-ray technicians and all that. And I had a clientele up in there, real big.
You know what, though, man? It takes a lot of heart and a lot of faith to do that.
I did.
You got to put your pride aside. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are applauding it, and some of them like, man, this nigga.
I wasn't tripping.
No, I'm saying. I'm saying.
I said, I'm finna go up in this hospital, and I had one of those little carts.
So what gave you the mind to do it?
Because I had a homeboy named Eric. Eric used to be on drugs. Let me just make a long story short. Eric used to be on drugs. Eric didn't have nowhere to stay. But Eric had sense enough to go down there to the place where you buy security guard uniforms, downtown L.A. He bought him a security guard uniform and went up in Kaiser and made like he worked there for about almost 2 years, man. He walked around there and went to the cafeteria and ate like he worked there and everything, man, until the people found out that he didn't work there. They did not work there. They asked him one day, I remember he told me the story, he said, man, about a year and a half later, they asked him to speak to his supervisor. And that was the time he said, let me go get her, and he never went back to Kaiser again. But for almost 2 years, Eric was homeless. And he had that uniform so clean. every day he walked up. They just thought he was somebody, but he was just homeless. But he would go up in there to eat. He would go up in there to get some sleep. And plus he met a guy that owned an apartment building in Baldwin Hills.
Wow.
And the guy lets him manage those apartments right now to this day.
Look at this.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Yes, he did.
Man.
And
Yeah.
Eric, when he met the guy didn't know that Eric was still going up in the hospital homeless like that.
Right.
Eric kept going up in there until he got to start getting paid from Homeboy.
Wow.
Homeboy gave him a place and everything now. So Eric is doing real good. But that's what made me say, man, I'm going to put this suit on. I'm going to put me a couple of these perfumes and colognes, and I'm going to walk around this hospital. Man. Until they got to know that, oh yeah, this dude just selling perfumes and colognes.
It reminded me of a friend of mine named Keith Sanders. Mm-hmm. He's Keith X now. He would be up there at Louisiana Chicken selling clothes and selling pie. Mm-hmm. You have to seen him. You didn't see him.
I probably seen him up there.
You know, he's Muslim brother.
Oh, Muslim, yeah.
Yeah.
Real sharp dude used to be up there all the time. Yeah, selling the pies and
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, I'm telling you.
He ain't been there in a while. They got Kareem down there now, though. But
he ain't been there in a while.
Kareem down the board, that dude sharp dude.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. So now, you know, he in the real estate and all kind of things.
Okay,
man.
okay.
But he was committed to selling clothes and doing all that, and he done real well with it too.
Right.
He had got him a vehicle or whatever, and
I know that brother, and I remember when I used to go buy pies from him. Remember I was living right around the corner when y'all had the smoke shop. I was living right in the back of the wash house right there. Right by KFC. And that's when I used to see him up there with the pies all the time.
Man,
but I remember how sharp he was, and I remember how much of a go-getter he was as far as selling them pies.
You just got to be consistent in what you're doing. I don't care what it is. Yes, if you stay consistent, eventually a breakthrough is going to come. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm so proud of you guys, man. You have no idea how jealous I am. No, I'm just playing.
No.
No, I'm just saying I watch y'all grow. I didn't see this part. I remember him telling me that we got a program.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was this, though.
Right.
Because the only thing that I can remember was the parties.
Right.
I remember the parties, and I remember I used to come outside my house. I said, man, that's going to go bad. Next thing you know, the homeboy got killed over there. Then I would come outside, and y'all was still throwing the parties, and the whole street would be crowded. I said, wait a minute. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. Then the smoke shop closed. I said, oh, man, they closed the smoke shop for the parties.
Oh, man.
And then I found out that y'all had the spot behind the church over there.
Right.
Just found that out just today.
Right.
And then I've been riding past here. I moved out. I was separated from my wife in 2018 before COVID hit, and I moved to Diamond Bar.
Wow.
And I just moved back over here on 110. About going on 3 years now.
Is that right?
And I would ride past this place all the time, and I would always wonder, what is that? What is that? And here it is, y'all got... Man, bless y'all heart. Man, that's all I can say, man. Yeah. Like I said, I was excited to be a part of the giving that you guys were doing, man, today, because I don't know, and I've been around a lot of recovery programs, man, hustling as well as being secretary and stuff like that. I've never seen nobody give back the way you guys gave today, man, and God bless you, and continued blessings to you guys for that, man. And I know you guys going to be all right.
So let me ask a question. What made you start the podcast?
What made me start?
And how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing the podcast about 1.5 years.
Is that right?
Called We Talk About It in the Hood. I've been doing it. What made me start the podcast was because I started going to church, and I was armor bearer for like 5 pastors. And when I started studying my Bible, remember I told you I stopped reading it, I started to realize that there was a lot of things that I was never going to hear the pastor preach about. I never was going to hear him preach about certain things in that book. So the reason why I started the podcast was to talk about things that we talk about in the neighborhood. Like in the neighborhood, you might hear somebody say, man, all them preachers do is take your money. You might hear that. You know, oh man, homegirl over there, she ain't, you know, she not no real mother. She, you know, stuff like that. So I started the podcast to talk about things that we don't talk about in certain environments. That's why I started it. That's the real reason why we talk about it in the hood. That was my reason. And also to let them know that there is a brother and that there is some brothers like us that came out of the neighborhood, that came out of certain situations that are doing better.
Yeah.
We doing better.
Don't stop. Anytime you lifting up the name of the Lord, hey, he ain't got no problem with that.
No, he don't.
So you want to keep doing that. But I'm going to say, I know you got to get out of here, man. And thank you for coming on the Browns Neighborhood Podcast.
Thank you for having me, man.
You know, it was a blessing because it's a lot more to the story. But as they say, when you testify, you can't tell it all.
Can't tell it all.
You know what I'm saying? You know, when somebody get up and testify,
they want to talk all day, the whole service.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell it all. But, man, you told some really good things, and that's a blessing.
Man, I appreciate you allowing me to.
Because somebody going to hear it and say, wow, I remember that time. And if Butch can come out, I got a shot.
Man, and we do. We have a shot.
You know what I'm saying?
Every day we wake up.
Because anytime a man was going to get 7 to life.
Yeah. I stayed in the law library trying to find a case that was compatible to mine to get that life topped off. Because when you get life, what a lot of people don't know, man, is every 5 years that you go to board, then people can keep playing with your life. Every time you go to board, they can just say no, 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 just because you got that life. So I had to find something compatible in the law library that was compatible to my case to present to the judge, so that the next time I go to board, they gonna say, well, hey, that case did, get kicked out, or they did let them out on that. And that's how I got it off.
Wow.
And I got out in 2000, and God been blessing me.
Man, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing that you was able to do that, because you got to touch your mind and do it first. A lot of people ain't just going and do it. God had to touch your mind.
Yes, sir.
For you to start studying and trying to stay in that library.
Yeah.
See, some stay in the cell.
That wasn't me.
See what I'm saying? Because you wanted to get out.
I wanted to bad. I was praying, and I'm a little emotional about it right now. I remember the times, man, when we would get on lockdown, and I'd be so mad because it was like I was wasting time getting that information that I was going to need, and that would make me mad, and I would want to get out my cell and fight. That's how mad I would get. And who got us locked down?
Is that right?
That's how deep it used to be to me to get to that law library and get that information, because I wanted to get out of there. I didn't want to make that my home. I did not want to get institutionalized like I see some of the brothers that are doing right now today that are in the prison system, now that they done took everything out of there. They took everything out of there.
Yeah. We was discussing that.
They don't give you nothing in there no more. They do not care.
Wow.
That's sad, bro.
Yeah, that man. I remember, like you say, ain't no trades, ain't no doing nothing, ain't no nothing.
Nothing.
To give somebody.
You can't even exercise. They catch you with a water bag, they busting that thing. They catch you doing push-ups, you going to the hole.
Is that right?
I promise you, ain't no more exercising going on up in there. You have to literally sneak to get physically fit around there now.
So they want you weak.
They want you weak, and they don't care if you get educated mentally, physically. They don't care if you don't come out of your cell. They don't care no more.
Wow.
It's just housing right now.
That's mind-blowing, man.
It's housing, I'm telling you. It is housing. And you got some people that are in there right now, man, that are so comfortable with just being there. Long as they people sending them a package or visit, man, I was not finna get comfortable for that. And my mother passed while I was in there. So I said, when I get out this time, I'm not even gonna be able to see my mother.
Wow.
So I had to get out, man, 10 toes down, man. And I told God, I said, if you get me out this time, I'm not going to do like I said the last time you get me out. Because the last time I told you I was going to do this. But this time, yeah,
Wow.
it's working.
Man, that's real talk, man. And that's what I love about this Brown Neighborhood podcast. They keep it real.
Yes, sir.
See, some people don't want to keep it real. They want you to tell you a lie or something. But we ain't, we going to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
And let it land where it may. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I thank God for this Brown Neighborhood podcast, man. It just, you don't, when you start something, you don't know what's.
You never know.
And God said, well, if it's going to help the people and it's going to be right, you ain't got to keep it going. I'm going to keep it going.
Amen. The next man going to keep it going.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to tell the Lord, thank you for the podcast.
Thank you for the podcast.
For blessing our life. Thank you for blessing Butch and saving his life.
Thank you.
Thank you for his mother prayers.
Yes, sir.
Now we know those prayers didn't go in vain.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And we still need to thank God for our parents, even if they not here.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because, hey, man, it's a blessing. So we're going to get out of here and we want to tell the Lord thank you. Until next time, God bless.